name is John Egbert, you'd think. Lately, you've been hearing voices or something. Voices and visions, and you don't know what else. After all, everything is crazy. Right now, you're sitting in front of the fridge with a craving for tab. This, of course, is odd for two reasons. The first is that you've never, to your knowledge, had a can of tab before in your life. And the second is that there isn't any in the fridge to begin with. Odd, but you don't have time to ruminate on this. You and your 4 friends had played a game called SBURB, a game that was supposed to save you from the apocalypse on Earth, but inside the game, things are no better. In fact, they suck ass. For starters, your house is on a giant pillar above the clouds on what appears to be a different planet. You can tell it's a different planet because there's only one solitary star in the night sky, and the clouds below are a billowing, deep navy blue. You think you're inside of the game. You decide to dismiss how insane that sounds and just try your best to rationalize it. Because as you're well aware, if you die in the game, you die for real. Says the clown. Oh, right. You have a clown now. Hey, you say, motioning towards the inside of the fridge. Do you need to eat anything? You turn your head toward the clown, a baby blue jester in the shape of your dad's birthday gift, torn arm and all that had erupted from one of the game constructs earlier.
Sure don't, buckaroo!
The clown says jovially. He can only say things jovially. Oh, you say, munching on a pack of fruit gushers. So far, you hate it here. On top of an imp assailing you in your room, your dad is MIA. Furthermore, the pillar of rock your house now sits on top doesn't seem particularly stable, and a while ago, the garage where your father presumably was inside of plummeted through the clouds early on. Your heart hammers when you think of him, so you try not to.
I'll be concise. Need some advice?
Says the clown again, jovially. You cringe. He's been giving you advice from time to time, but it's at best a confusing mess, and at worst it's aggravating gibberish. No, you say, but he cuts you off. His color and disposition remind you of Navi from Zelda.
You're in the game, and you're doing fine. Now prototype me a second time,
he says. He's said that particular nugget of wisdom several times already, and it hasn't gotten more funny. Okay, you say dejectedly. You know that prototyping refers to the process by which he became a clown, but you're not sure how to do that, or how you did it in the first place. Fuck, you cry as you enter the living room. You notice, now that things have settled down, relatively, that your Nana's ashes are scattered all over the floor. You don't know why that upsets you right now. Probably because it's the only thing you can give your attention to at the moment without going fucking crazy.
I'll be concise. Need some advice?
Asks the clown in the same tone, interrupting your panic.
Now that you've turned those imps to fluff, you can use the grist to buy some stuff.
You feel like you're trapped inside a game tutorial. Well, you guess you literally are. You don't bother responding this time. You walk into the washroom to get a broom to scoop up Nana's ashes with. It's gonna bug you if you don't. Nana's photos are all so pretty. The one above the fire is her close to when she passed away, but she still looked elegant in her old age. You wish you could have looked like that.
I'll be concise. Need some advice?
You growl and shove the jester out of the way, but then you think of something. You could help by sweeping the ashes back into the urn, I guess, you offer. If this is a help character, maybe he can be used to, help.
If I did that, I'd do more harm. After all, I've just got the arm.
The jester waggles his arm, pointing to the socket where one is missing. Fine, then just hold the urn and I'll sweep.
I'll be quick and won't be rude. I only do a job that's good,
he says cheerfully. Good and rude don't rhyme, dipshit, you say, rolling your eyes.
I guess you're right. You speak quite true. For that I say, a hearty fuck you.
Before the jester can complete his insult, you have to avert your eyes due to the blinding flash of light that appears like a stun grenade. What the? You pat the fireplace shelf like they'll appear if you feel around. Your Nana's ashes in the urn are just gone.
You! What did you do to my Nana's ashes?
You demand, wheeling on your heel to face the jester. But to your shock, you don't see him at all. Instead, you see a different figure, still colored a ghostly baby blue, wearing the same jester's hat, but now in a fancy lace cardigan, sporting a pair of horn-rimmed glasses, with mischief bursting from the eyes underneath. Nana? You stare, slack-jawed, but before you can react, the figure speaks. It says cheerfully, and in the next millisecond, a cream pie blats you in the face. Your vision turning white. You are no longer John Egbert.
Hello, everyone.
Sup?
Hiya.
Has anyone heard from John?
Yeah, but that was a while ago.
Terrific. I'll check on my server copy. Huh.
He's okay, isn't he?
He's occupied. For time's sake, let's just say he's safe but can't be reached.
Is he jerking it? Nasty.
No, he's currently getting cream-pied.
Lol.
Let's move on. It appears we've made it. Into the game, I mean. Thereby avoiding fiery death by meteor.
We did, against all odds.
Are we safe now?
I think the answer to that should be clear. It appears that each of us is stranded somewhere at present, inside the world of the game. John is on a precarious cliff. I am in the middle of an ocean.
Yeah, my apartment got zapped to, lava.
Lava?
Yeah, but it's chill. Me, not the lava.
And my whole island got transported, even the Mr. Froggy.
Who?
Oh, sorry, even the ruins in the lagoon and the volcano, but it's all snowy and I can't get out of my bedroom right now.
Don't fret. Being stranded might be a boon. Imps are making their way to us, somehow, and I fear once we reach larger, less remote areas, we'll be facing more of them.
The little gremlin-looking dudes, right?
Yes. It also appears each of us has a companion formed from the orb that emerged from the Cruxtruder combined with something that we offered it. John offered a jester doll, so he has a clown. I offered a doll of my own, so now mine is complicated.
Yeah, I see yours, and it's fucking... It's something. Mine is a bird.
Ooh, a nice bird. We both have animal ones, Dave. Mine is my dog Beck. He's green now. Well, greener, I should say.
It appears you are able to make a second offering once you're inside the game. This is prototyping, according to what my sprite said. John has prototyped what appears to be an old woman. I would choose what to prototype wisely. Something sentient, ideally.
Yeah, my crow dude can't talk. It's hella annoying.
Indeed. I prototyped a doll, and that seems to be sufficient enough. Something humanoid.
Humanoid. Ugh. I just got a bad idea.
No rush. There's no time limit on this. But your sprite seems to be built to help you inside the game. Like a help character.
Like Navi from Zelda.
She's not the only help character, you know, Dave.
Okay then, gamer genius. Name another one.
I would, but my sheer breadth of knowledge would knock you straight upon your rear ass.
Sure.
Regardless, job number 1 is to get more information out of these sprites and secure your area from imps.
Tight.
Okay.
You are now John again. Soon enough, you'll be able to read that chat backlog, but for now, you're getting cream-pied. You wipe cream from your face, falling on your ass on the floor.
Oh, that's the oldest trick in the book, dearie,
says the voice from above you. Readjusting your glasses to make sure you're not seeing things, it's your Nana, in the flesh. Well, sort of. She's made out of the same ghostly shimmering goo the jester had been made from. Nana? You say incredulously.
That's right, John. The very same. Joanna McAllister, Chesterfield, Roosevelt, Crocker, Sassacre. But that's Nana to you.
Nana looks around, her jester hat jingling. Where's that son of mine? Your incredulity turns to sourness. You wince. Nana seems to understand that expression, and she offers a hand, helping you to your feet.
Oh, now that won't do, dearie,
she says kindly. She's just like you remember. Well, minus being half clown, of course. She's kindly and soft, sweet and elegant, all in one, with a twinkle in her eye to boot. You've always missed her, and seeing her now makes you choke up a little bit. She was always one of your most aspirational figures. Your hero. Even if that was due to some poorly recalled childhood memories. She pats your back and walks you to the kitchen.
Don't you worry about your dear old dad, Sweet Pea. He's got man grit to boot. We'll track him down later, but for now, you need some good old-fashioned sustenance.
You haven't slipped in one word since your Nana materialized, and now that you've gotten the chance, you're caught off guard, managing to choke out one syllable.
How did I, a long-dead old hag, suddenly appeared all gesterified in your very house, inside a magical game, after escaping a meteor?
She asks, waggling her eyebrows. All you can do is nod. Are you really my Nana? You ask.
Well now.
Nana thinks for a moment, reaching some pots and pans, getting the water boiling. You're not sure how your home is still getting water or electricity, but you get the feeling that it doesn't matter.
I don't rightly know.
Nana searches the cupboards, frowning, managing only to find a box of macaroni, shredding some cheese from the fridge.
I do believe so. After all, I have her memories and beliefs and ideas, but there's something else up in this noggin too, John dear. I know stuff I didn't before. Things about where we are and what this is, and...
She snaps her fingers, realizing something.
Your quest!
My quest? You ask dumbly. You have a feeling most of your questions will be dumb ones. You're grateful that your Nana is more forthcoming of a help character than the jester. Nana is more sympathetic to your stupidity.
Yes, I'm afraid. I know you just got out of danger, but there's more to come.
Nana is cheerful, but she's careful about giving words the right weight, like she's trying to break news gently to you. You mean to save the Earth? You think back to the meteor, to the screaming faces of your neighbors. For the first time, you realize they're not there anymore. Your Nana speaks quietly. Up until now, she'd been grating a block of cheese, but she pauses.
I'm afraid that's not possible, John dear, she says.
Then what? You suddenly feel frustrated again. What's the point of this game? If we escape death to get here, but then what? We just have to live out our lives on these... wherever we are?
I'm afraid the Earth is gone, John,
Nana says more sternly now, trying to quell your irritation.
But that is precisely why you are here. Your old world had died, just like all things die.
Nana dumps the macaroni into the pot, stirring the grated cheese with milk in a large bowl. The kitchen is warmer now. Your breath is slowing down like a great weight is being pushed on you.
The point of the game, John, is to make a new world, a new universe.
Your jester sprite Nana gives you macaroni and cheese, which you eat gratefully. Your main question is answered, and it's grim. Your grandmother doesn't eat, and you reason that jester sprite Nanas probably don't need to. Where am I? You ask through mouthfuls of delicious yellow goop.
The land of wind and shade,
she announces grandly, giggling girlishly, tugging at the drawstring on the kitchen blinds, revealing the dark clouds beneath.
It is your land, John. You must complete its quest to move on to Skya. I know this might sound confusing, but do not worry.
Nana beckons you to follow her out the back door, where she points to the sky. The single pale star shines high above your house, and you notice an intricate ring in the sky above you, glowing gently.
High above us, dear, is Skya, where you'll be able to meet your friends and fight for your new world. But first, you have to complete the quest on your land. And to do that, you need to access the first gate.
That glowy thing? You ask, pointing. Nana laughs.
The glowy thing! You're quick on the uptake, young man.
She now points down at the clouds surrounding the precipice.
Down below is your land, which your gate will take you to. From there, well, that's up to you.
You understand. Sort of. So I go up to go down. But how do I get up there? You ask, squinting up at the gate. It looks quite high, but it's hard to tell due to how unreadable the size of it is.
You build,
Nana says cheerfully.
Or more accurately, your friends build.
Mac and cheese bowl in hand, you follow Nana back to your computer.
See now, your friend Jade has a first gate high above her house, too. And see, you can use the game to build higher and higher for her. You build using the grist you get from defeating those pesky imps. See there?
She points to an indicator on Jade's screen that now reads, 100 meters to go. Okay. Again, you think you understand her instructions. You're just not sure how these things are supposed to make a new universe, as she said. Still, it's not like you have anything better to do.
Eat up, dear. You need some rest. These old bones don't need to sleep. So while you catch some Z's, I'll take care of those rascally imps. They won't be much of a threat. Until later on.
You are pretty tired. You feel like you can trust Nana to take care of the imps. Or maybe that's just wishful thinking.
Oh, one more question, this time for you, dear, and I do hate to ask this of a family member, she says, poking her nose back into your room. Your name is John, right?
Oh, you hesitate responding. You're not sure why.
Yeah. I thought that's what my son named you, but...
Nana trails off, seeming to brush off an intrusive thought. You're not sure what to make of that. Nana leaves once more, leaving you with an even more confused feeling. Before bed, you decide to check the forum.
Hey, anyone still here?
Hello, friend. I've made landfall in a strange new place after entering some fashion of portal in the sky. Oh, no one has made a post in the last several hours. I fear for the planet.
Oh, geez. I'm pretty sure the Earth is gone, FF. I'm sorry.
I don't think I'm long for the world either. I'm running out of my piss reserves.
Sorry, you're what?
For the love of God, June, give it the fuck up. The piss guy is going to die on his shitty land because his other players didn't get in the game.
How do you know my name? Wait, that's not my name. How do you know the thing people call me?
Shock of the century! June Egbert once again displays a patented lack of any and all reasoning skills. The thing people call you is your name, you walking sack of piss.
Where can I obtain this walking sack of piss? I am willing to give chase, if need be.
Shut the fuck up, piss boy.
You're really aliens, aren't you? Ugh, Jesus Christ, I can't believe the elite-speaking trolls weren't lying. For some reason, that's the most depressed I've felt all day.
The feeling is mutual. Just hurry up and find a hole to perish in.
You have no idea how the forums are running, as there shouldn't be internet away from planet Earth, but you have a feeling it doesn't matter. In spite of saying you're depressed, something about CG's reflexive antagonism makes you smile. He's alive, like you. Maybe this isn't so hopeless after all.
Hey guys.
Jono, how was getting cream pied? What?
He means how was reconnecting with your Nana.
Oh, it was weird. She knows about the game for some reason.
Good. We should consolidate information. Though I think after that, we should all get some rest. It's been a long day.
Hear, hear.
Isn't it here?
Whatever it is, it's unanimous. So, what have you found out, John?
Well, apparently we need to start beating imps and making our way to our first gates. They're little portals in the sky. We use the grist from defeated imps to build up each other's homes, then finish some quest, I guess. So job number 1 is defeat imps.
Still, only you've actually seen an imp up close, John. It will take a while to get enough to build. I advise we work towards getting one of us in at a time. Through our gates are likely more imps, possibly more difficult monsters.
There'll be no match for me.
Same.
That leaves the question. Who will enter their gate first?
I'll do it.
That was almost reflexive. Statements like that, John, are why you're our leader.
Come on. I'm more like one of those red shirt wearing guys. In Star Trek, those guys were the leaders, dude. You're thinking of the Yellow Jackets.
No, yellow jackets are mean. Their nests look like bumblebees, but there's not even honey inside. You have to learn to spot the difference.
We're getting off track. I suppose that leaves me to build your house high enough to reach the gate. Which means Jade and Dave are on main imp wrangling duty.
Roger.
Got it.
I have more questions, but first, we should rest. Good night, all.
Night.
Nighty-night.
Good night. You stretch. God, the exhaustion is starting to set in. Worst birthday ever, you mutter, looking towards your trusty hammer, which is leaning on a wall. You're distracted by a sudden ping. Yo, can we yak? Sure, Dave. Okay, tight. I'm sure I don't need to outline all the ways this is Mondo fuck John, my dude, but like, I'm kind of freaking out here. My Bro is MIA. My other friends are, I think, just gone. It's dire for old D-Money.
Don't you have your Sprite?
My Sprite is, let's not talk about that. I don't want to be alone for another hot sec, you feel?
Well, okay. Let's jam, buddy.
Cool. I think I'm good now. I actually just... Earth is gone. Like, we avoided the apocalypse basically by accident, and I think we might be the only ones.
I don't really know what to say about that.
I'm starting to think, like, what's the point of this? Of the imps and shit. And of the gates. If we're just dead meat anyway. Why not just hunker down and live our short lives chatting it up with each other?
Dave, Jesus, don't talk shit.
I'm not talking shit. This is an honest-to-God existential question. Why should we participate? Everyone is dead, bro. Chad is dead. He was messaging me when it happened to him.
Dave, this isn't what I was talking about when I said I'd jam. Look, can you promise me something?
Yeah.
I don't think I can process this right now. And I don't think you can either. I don't know what to say, and I think if I tried, it'd make you feel worse.
Fair.
So just live until we can process it, okay?
There's a long pause. I can do that.
You're my best friend, Dave. You said you're alone, and you are alone in that room, but not like in general. Okay?
Okay.
You hope Dave means that. You can never get a read on the guy, but you trust him. You slide into bed, laying on your back, drifting to sleep. Your name is June Egbert. You awaken slowly, staring at your hands, blinking blearily. Where are you? You remember talking to someone on a computer? It's also hazy, like a dream. You fumble on the bedside table for your glasses, sliding them on, clutching your head. Hello? You call out. The room you're in is golden and bright, the bedsheets matching your yellow surfaces. It's rather harsh on your eyes, but after some adjustment, you manage to see clearly. You stand up trying to remember anything. All you know is your own name, a vague recollection pulled from somewhere in your memories, of which you seem to have none. None except faint dreams where you can barely grasp. You exit the room. Hello? You repeat into the hallway outside. It seems like no one is there. Odd. The room you woke up in and the hallway look almost too pristine, not lived in, like no one has visited in ages. You step out into the hallway, stretching tiredly, and to your right, you hear footsteps. Someone is coming up the staircase. Hey! You cry out. I'm June Egbert. Can you tell me where I am, please? You watch as a burly man in a suit appears from the staircase corner.
You the air of breath?
The large man asks. He strikes you as odd and out of place, his skin made of shining black carapace, dressed in a plain suit, holding what appears to be a club. Yeah, you stammer. June Egbert, the air of breath, I think.
Thank goodness. We've been looking all over the place for yous,
the shiny man says, raising his club and beating you with it.
Your name is Parcel Mistress 413. You're presently inside of a cart, in handcuffs, being dragged before the White Queen, your sovereign, for the biggest blunder of your entire life. Your mind races over the previous day's events, full of regret. For one single day, you were the Post Minister. It's a title you earned from your service as a parcel mistress, delivering mail throughout the medium for time immemorial. It's not a title you ever wanted, mind you. It's one you inherited. Your first day on the job was a hectic one. Before you could so much as be shown your new office, you were whisked in front of one of the heroes of Prospect, who gave you a personal request, deceptively simple. A note, scrawled in plain writing, from the witch, Jade, to her friend. John, talk to me as soon as you can. From the Witch of Space. The only issue was that the name John was a complete mystery to you. Still, it was a request from the witch herself, one that you couldn't pass up, one that you needed to see through yourself. Any male person worth her salt knew how to find an obscure address, but just the single name John was far, far too obscure. You recall resorting to extreme means. There was one person in the medium who could track down anyone. The problem was, it wasn't entirely above board. Using your standard issue mail PDA, you hesitantly typed in a name. Authority Regulator 828.
Hello. My name is Parcel Mistress 413. My apologies. My name is Post Minister 1, as of recently. I understand you can find people.
How did you get this number?
I'm sorry, never mind. I never should have contacted you.
Don't be so hasty now. What's a big shot from the Piss Kingdom doing talking to a Dursite like myself?
I need to find someone. I understand you do such services. You use your connections in law enforcement to track people.
All right, enough. Don't talk shop over the airwaves. We need to meet at a secure locale. Meet me on the roof of the Land of Heat and Clockwork.
The roof?
You'll know it when you see it, toots. Be there in an hour.
By nature, you're a somewhat nervous person, but it's times like these you need to be brave. After all, you can't let down Jade, otherwise what good are you at mail? An hour later, after securing transport, you fly to the Land of Heat and Clockwork. It certainly lived up to its name as you brought your interplanetary vessel to a halt. AR had been correct. The rooftop was easy to find. It was the only structure in the area that jutted so high into the sky. Sure enough, a Dursite man was waiting for you there.
You got the dosh?
He asked dryly. You nodded, withdrawing a large sack of cash from your craft, placing it at his feet.
All right, let's do business,
he said. The roof was made of soft, black material, alien to you. Where are we? You asked.
Funny you should ask. This is the so-called Night of Times place, he said.
Your eyes widened. At the time, he seemed amused by your reaction.
Relax, he said. He isn't around now, and I already did a perimeter sweep for bugs, crawlers, walkies, radios, and scoopers. Come inside.
The regulator led you down into the place until you reached the lowest floor, entering what appeared to be someone's bedroom. Should we be in here? You nervously asked.
Just don't mess anything up, and we'll be fine. I use joints like these and exchange points all the time.
He leaned on the doorframe.
Talk. Who do you need to find?
I need to find John, you said.
Okay,
AR said, squinting.
Who's John?
That's why I'm here asking you, he replied irritably.
I'm not a freaking magician, lady, he cried, scoffing. I need more than just a name.
Tell that to my boss, he said bitterly. Look, I got asked by the Witch of Space. Does that ring any bells now?
Let's see.
The authority regulator seemed to ponder this new fact for a moment before snapping his fingers.
Hang on.
The AR fiddles with a nearby computer. Is that his? You suppose that it doesn't belong to him. He doesn't care. Nearby on the desk, though, something caught your eye. A pair of envelopes labeled Dave. By nature, you are a mail person. You live for mail. You love it. You might not have been thrilled about your position of authority, but there's something about marked parcels that called out to you. You swiped the envelopes, tucking them away safely.
Here we go, AR said. John. Apparently he's on the Land of Wind and Shade, according to some correspondence I just intercepted.
You mean that you just read on the computer, you corrected.
Sure, whatever. Just head there to deliver your stuff. He's on top of the tallest peak in the place. Can't miss it, just like this roof.
The AR shook your hand, grinning like a fool.
Pleasure doing business with you, m'lady. Don't go telling anyone we met, capiche?
After the meeting with AR, you recall speeding towards the Land of Wind and Shade. Prospidians, as a rule, tended to avoid the lands. They generally were patrolled by Dursite imps, the animalistic goons of the Durs forces. Able-bodied Prospidians generally were sent to Skya to fight the Black Queen instead. Luckily for you, you found the house in question fairly quickly.
Foolishly, you thought at the time that the end of your quest was in sight, and approached the front door, tentatively knocking. "Hello?" you called nervously. "John?" No answer. You recall your next steps with some difficulty, simply opening his mailbox and sticking the note inside. Sadly, it seemed the mailbox was too broken, causing you to wedge the note between the door and its frame. "I'll just leave the note here," you answer loudly, ready to wash your hands of the business. Unfortunately, as you boarded your vessel to head back to Prospect, you saw something that made your blood run cold. Across the broken lawn, you saw an imp grab the note and begin chewing on it, entering John's house boldly. What you did next makes you shiver with shame. Instead of engage the thieving imp, you simply left. Now, in the present day, you're in a Prospedian jail cell, looking out at Skya high above. You've been here for a few days now, your trial having just concluded. Bitterly, as you gaze up to the moon of Prospect, you recall what truly sealed your fate. It was your own fault, really, your guilty conscience preying on your weak mind. You'd fessed up, requested an audience with the White Queen to tell her yourself. You remember kneeling on the hard yellow floor before her throne, her cold eyes looking down at you. "My queen," you said, voice already begging. "An imp took the note I was to deliver. I couldn't stop him." The White Queen, your beloved monarch, the leader of your people, just said one word that day. "Exile." Your head swam, your throat dried. Exile. To be sent away from Prospect, launched through some foul Skyan portal to parts unknown, never to return, to be disposed of like trash. "No, please, your highness, you don't understand," you'd pleaded, but it was no use, and now you're in prison. Over your stay in jail, you've come to hate the queen. Her 2 syllables had doomed you to a life of misery. Of course, it's no use feeling regret. The king, the queen, both of them are just senseless monarchs, sending Prospedians like you to die. Their word is absolute. As you've demonstrated, defying them leads to exile. So you wait, festering in a cell of your own design, through no fault of your own but circumstance, cursing the queen and her king and their war uselessly. But as you peer out of the window to your cell, you see something that shocks you. High above, the moon rattles and shakes as if it were a giant egg about to hatch. "Come with us," you hear behind you, a burly guard grabbing your shoulder. But the moon," you insist. It's no use. The queen's orders guide the guard's hands, tossing you roughly on an exile craft, packing you inside, kicking and screaming. As you feel the pod violently eject from the planet's surface, a porthole gives you a glimpse of the golden streets below, inching further and further away as you're shot towards Skya. And as you pass the moon high above, you can only watch in confusion as before your eyes, it explodes in a shower of green light. A moment later, a portal high above Skya swallows your pod up, and you plummet towards a sandy, tan planet below. Left with questions and bitterness alone, you slam into your new, obliterated home, the home of every exile, the apocalyptic wasteland known as Earth. You were a parcel mistress, then a post minister, but now you're nothing but a peregrine mendicant.